All right, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Drivers. I'm your host and driver advocate Lamar Sullivan. Uh, riding with us today is a driver out of the Omaha market, Lawrence. Thanks for joining us today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been. You are one of the most, the one of the top drivers in the Nebraska area or Omaha, and that's not one of our biggest markets, but you're one of the people keeping it going. So we appreciate the work that you're doing out there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's jump into the questions. So what made you try driving with gig apps?
I started my LLC 3 years ago. I wanted to do something different. I always been in like logistics, shipping, handling field from just previous jobs I had, and I was just like, I have a large family also, so I was like, man, I need something where I can move at my pace, do what I want to do. If I need time off to tend to my kids or family or whatever the case may be, it's not affecting my work schedule, so I can do what I need to do. So I jumped in the trucking business and carrier business, just off of experience and just want to do something different, man. Want to work for myself, create my own company, become my own boss.
Okay, okay. And so did you start the business thinking like I'm gonna look at these gig apps, or were you doing more independent contracts with different clients, or what was that like in the beginning?
Well, my first contract I landed actually was an auto part contract that I still have to this day.
Okay.
That's how I really got my foot in the door. It started with auto parts, and it went from auto parts to medical carrier to building material, palletized freight. But yeah, my very first contract I landed was auto parts, and that's what got me going. That's what got our wheels on the ground.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. So how did you find out about dispatch then?
With dispatch, I was just honestly one night I was just on my phone just researching, and I went to my Apple store, typed
Mhm.
in like gig jobs, and a lot of different ones popped up. And one thing about Nebraska, it's not too many of them that offer their services in our market. Like they're just not here yet, and
Yep.
I a lot. And when I stumbled across dispatch, um, I mean everything looked at real well put together, legit. I put in all my business information, and someone reached out to me, got an email, went through the boarding process, and from there, coming on board, I'll give or take. I want to say maybe about the first month or two in, it kind of was slow, and then jobs just started picking up tremendously. October 4th of this year has been my 1 year mark since being with Dispatch.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Congrats on the 1 year. Um, so what? So I think I saw you drive a pickup truck.
Yes, I have pickup truck, transit van, and also own the box truck.
Oh, okay, okay. So you got a wide range.
I own a trailer as well.
Okay, okay. And so, with your business, you said you have a big family. So, do any of your family members also work with you?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Okay.
My son's involved. They work with me as well, and a couple other family members.
Okay. So, what's that like being a fleet owner and having, you have your own drivers, but they're also family members. So, what's that like?
You got to stay on it. Every day I'm pushing the agenda. If we're not on the road, we're not getting paid.
Yeah.
Just meeting customers' aspects, and getting deliveries where they have to go safe and on time. But yeah, working with family, it is pros and cons to it. I mean, it's the relationship for one that's already there.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're working with a total stranger or anything like that. So I mean, the relationship is there, but at the same time, you have to also keep family motivated and let them know, hey, at the end of the day, we have a business to run. So
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, what's that balance like then?
um, it's not too hard. I mean, I'm pretty. it's not too hard. It's not. Long as we all on the same eye level. I try to keep everybody on the same eye level. I don't try
Right.
to cut too much off on the necks. I try to balance everyone's weight out as possible, so no
Mhm.
one's feeling like they're doing more or taking on more.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much how I balance everything. I try to make it easier around the board for everyone. And then
Mhm.
I also keep my window open to where I'm always able to jump in if need be.
Yeah.
Even though I'm doing me, I can better line up what I have going on. But if someone needs something, or if I need to step in and get some things done quicker or fill in for someone, I just like to keep that window open so we can keep everything running smoothly.
Gotcha, gotcha. So when it comes to the orders for your business, are you more like the facilitator, or I see you do orders with us, so you do some amount of driving, but how much of the driving do you do yourself versus delegating that to your drivers?
To be honest, man, I'm out here every day. I'm out here 6 days a week with my
Okay.
drivers. I'm out here 6 days a week. I'm out here right now. I'm just pulled over to take care of the interview and everything, and I'll be back out here soon doing jobs. But yeah, I like being out. I like to keep my hands in the mix of things and just
Mhm.
knowing what's going on. You know.
Okay, okay. So prior to dispatching, kind of, you said you've been in logistics for a while. So how long have you kind of been in this space, and what kind of made you make the jump to owning your own business then?
Well, I've been in the business now for 3 years. And it was a lot of things I was seeing. I seen a lot of things on like social media. I'm seeing truck drivers making a certain amount of money in a week, and I'm more basing it off at that time. I'm more basing it off of working in lumber yards, warehouses, packaging houses. I'm looking at what I'm making in a week. And I'm like, you telling me I can go get a box truck or a flatbed and make double that amount in a week? It's just if you're someone that know how to negotiate and communicate and a people's person, then it's not hard to do. And I always had that gift and jab, so I just I took that leap of faith and it was like, hey, I'm gonna go. I secured my equipment that I needed
Mhm.
and had all my paper trail and paperwork in order. And once I did those, accomplished those two things off my checklist, that's when I started going out and seeking into how to get contracts, how to bid on contracts, how to apply for them, how to beef up my resume, things of that nature.
Okay, so what was that process like in the beginning? Doing sounds like you did a decent amount of research and due diligence to make yourself, make sure you had all your ducks in a row. What was that like getting started in the beginning?
In the beginning, it wasn't that hard for me, and I always had a business mind. But in the beginning, I guess I'll say I was grateful and thankful to have the finances to be able to start a business for one. And I mean that's pretty much what it took on my end. I had finances around, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna start me an LLC. Did that process. Did a lot of other research into a LLC, as far as what all I can do, how far I can move with it, what kind of jobs I can take on. And then I started digging into the business side of things. Once I opened up the business bank account, even went to a few seminars, business conferences here in Nebraska, and that's pretty much all I did, man. Honestly, and every day it's a learning process every day. Like I'm still a student, so I'm
Yeah,
learning something new every day with this. 3 years may seem long to a lot, but 3 years is still fresh to me.
yeah.
Uh, it's a lot of things in the beginning stages that was tough, even from just reaching out. Far as I built my business off of my dollar, but I remember times going out trying to get like help with loans or financing to better fund and boost the business, and I got a lot of no's, and it wasn't that like in a bad way. It was just as starting off as a new startup small business, like that's really what it was.
Mhm.
And I believe they say around that 3 to 5 year mark, they kind of no longer look at you as a fresh business. And by
Mhm.
the time you pretty much have some type of business credit flowing, you didn't establish a few things to where it's like, okay, things kind of lighten up for you. But definitely in the beginning stages, it was all figuring everything out, hearing a lot of no's, and like I said, I just moved off the power of my dollar and just kept going. I never gave up. Every day I get up, I'm out here, I'm posting on social media. Social media, I believe, was a big thing for me as well, because from the beginning stages, I never stopped. That was my go-to.
Mhm.
My Instagram and YouTube, that was my go-to. And I still network and use it daily, still to this day. So that was something I believe also that just gave me more motivation, because the more I got on social media with it, the more ideas I got to see and just see taking bits and pieces from here and there, putting it in my own way and forming it into what works for us. And that's pretty much that was beginning stages for me. Like I said, it's still tough. It's not still tough. It's ups and downs. It's good days. It's bad days. It may be a day you may have a fleet go down, and now you got to pick up that extra slack. So it's like I just like being prepared and keeping my window open in case anything arises.
Okay. What was it like when you were hearing those no's? Was it ever discouraging? Sounds like you kind of just pushed through it and you would kind of make it to the other side. But what was that like when in the moment when you were kind of hearing those no's from the banks?
It wasn't discouraging. It was just more. Well, I'll say the people that I was dealing with at those banks and times, they enlightened me on a lot of things that I didn't know. So at that time, when I was hearing those no's, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it made sense to me because I'm coming in fresh. I don't have, I never came in with any business credit already established and any lines of credit or loans or anything to that nature. So I was just like, okay, no, it makes sense. I get it. Let me beef up. I have the business presence here, the profile, but let me beef up the business credit file. Let me get some
Mhm.
really in works. And I started off small from there. So when I'm hearing those no's, it motivated me to start establishing business credit. And I started off small, from getting my equipment, things like dollies, push carts that we may need, straps,
Mhm.
anything. And I just started like little lines of trade lines of credit with like a place called Uline. You might have heard of them. I
Yep.
just
Yep.
started there. I started small. I got my first fuel card for my company, company called A to B. Um, First fuel card within, I'll say, our two year mark, going into our 2 years. So I started there, and I just been building up business credit and learning how that worked, because personal and business, we know, it's kind of like the same, but it's really not. It's different. So
Yeah.
that's just how I took the nose. I just took them and was like, hey, let me start building credit, and then I'm sure things will change up and switch around, which they have.
Okay. Okay. That's good to hear. So what are some of the challenges of being a delivery driver in your area specifically?
Oh man, the challenges here in Nebraska, in Omaha, Nebraska. Well, it's a lot of other companies around that's been established longer than I have, and we've been on the road. But the challenges here, honestly, I would say, for being going on 3 years rolling, we've been all around and done a lot of jobs and stepped into a lot of rooms and a lot of places. The challenges here, I would say, is the volume. Like, if we had more market range, a wider market range, and just more more good, better contracts. Honestly, I would say. I mean, because
Mhm.
long as you have the fleet and the team, the work can definitely get done. It's all about having the right apps and the right contracts. That's the challenge, I would say. So, I mean, honestly, in between my contracts and in between you guys, Dispatch, I mean, you guys keep us busy. So, I mean, we're lucky to have an app like Dispatch that we can get on and get work done. I mean, a lot of people here, a lot of people here in Nebraska, I believe, don't even know what dispatch is. It's
Mhm.
just from me doing my work and research, and I've even told people about it. I mean, I'm sure some people are starting to find out, but literally, I've been on this app for a year, and I have seen nothing but increase in progression process, like months. months in and going into for where I'm at now with you guys from the beginning, it's been a way big jump and a way big leap. So I definitely see the difference for sure, for sure. And I believe like the challenges out here is that it's just finding the right apps that offer the right jobs and the pay, of course, because
Mhm.
you want to. It takes money to be on the road, and you
Yeah.
don't want to do a job and not even making a profit off of it. So, I would say that's the challenge here. Is that just finding the right contracts and the right apps that you can get on and make those numbers that you're trying to make.
Okay. Okay. So that kind of leads into the next question then. How has dispatch helped to increase your business?
A lot, a lot. With dispatching took me some places I never thought I'll even be delivering to. Just being honest, like I didn't been in places like Planet Fitness, a lot of retail places, from Taco John's, Godfathers, man, a lot. Some places I can't even name. Some warehouses I never even knew existed here until I got an order, and I'm like, this company runs out of here. A lot of great places I done been through with dispatch. A lot of building material, ABC Supply, a lot of your painting companies, a lot of great places. It's definitely done took me a lot of places. And one thing, um, I'm also building. I've noticed we've built a nice relationship as well because it gets to a certain time here in Nebraska where dispatchers just start kicking me out jobs, and it's like
Mhm.
that also comes with me speaking on the process and seeing the leap and the upgrade because that lines up and secure work for the next day. So
Yeah.
I mean that's a plus, and I can't me personally, I don't know other apps that's like that. And I didn't touched a lot of apps. I didn't been on Roadie, I didn't been on Simpax,
Mhm.
I didn't been on Curry, I didn't been on a lot of different apps, but Dispatch is one app where literally I've been lined up 4 or 5 jobs for the next day. And I may be going from Omaha to Grand Island, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska. I may be in Council Bluffs. I may be in Fremont, Nebraska, Blair, Nebraska. I done it. So it's like, yeah, that's a plus for sure with the dispatch app.
Love it. Love it. So that sounds like one of the things that you have liked about working with dispatch. What are some of the other things that you like about working with dispatch that you have liked working with dispatch?
Um, I could say the customer service. Definitely. I've never had any issues. It's times where I've been out doing jobs and the address listed may not be the correct address, and I may need have to reach out to support team. And I mean, it's instantly. They respond instantly. Or it's times I didn't deliver 2 jobs and the order had been canceled or the order was picked up and I wasn't notified of that as a driver. And I reach out and everything get escalated very quick, very fast. And one thing, it didn't happen to me a few times, and that's one thing I do like about dispatch. Uh, I didn't been to a few places, and the job was already picked up, but dispatch still pays you a certain percentage, And it's some apps I've been on, and you get there, and the job has been picked up or canceled, not been notified, and you don't get anything. Like you could have drove 10, 15, 20 miles, for that job and get there and
Yeah.
somebody pick it up and you're like, wow, I just burnt my gas or fuel or whatever the case may be. I could have been doing another job. I stopped to do this, to take on this, and it's been picked up or completed already. So
Mhm.
I definitely got to give it to Dispatch 5 stars on the support when it comes to reaching out or having anything going on. If you got any questions or anything like that, I like how they respond quickly, and I like the jobs that they send our direction.
Okay, I love every time. Like, that's probably our most common answer when it comes to what drivers like about dispatch is the support team.
Yeah,
They get a lot of rave reviews, so I'm glad to keep that rolling. They do a great job over there.
yeah, definitely they do.
Um, so what are some of the things, in your opinion, that dispatch can improve on?
Um, It's only one thing with me, and I'm being honest. It's times when they send jobs, but I guess they do it that way because it's a hot job or they want someone to like take it immediately. But when they send the jobs down and they give you 49 seconds to accept it, I'll be like, man, like, because there's times where I'm actually in the middle of working, or I might have been wasn't paying attention to my phone at the time, and then
Mm,
I'll see it and click on it, and it might be 7 seconds counting down, or it's just way too late, or I caught it right before the last 2 seconds and couldn't
yeah.
get the job, and then it may a lot of times it will come back and pop back up, and then sometimes it don't. So
Mm,
I'd be wishing like it's a way where they can like honestly send like particular drivers like just certain orders, like they own lane of work versus when it pop up sometimes, and which they do both. But when
mm,
they put up those ones, because it's some where they put up for that 49 seconds that be really good jobs, big paying jobs.
mm,
And it's like man, like if you don't be by your phone at that moment, it goes to another driver. You missed out on it, and
yeah.
it's times when that happened, but I'll look up and it'll come back through and it'll sit on my on my screen part until
Yeah.
I accept it. It'll sit on the available screen part of the app. So me, I think I would say that'd be the only thing I would have to say that I feel like maybe they can come up with something a little better
Okay.
or
Okay.
give us or just give us a little more time to see the order counting down because that
Okay.
40 seconds it go by fast when you're doing something or you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
So give or take maybe a 2 minutes to, for it to count down. But other than that, I don't have no complaints.
Well, one little trick to extend the time is uh if that the order pops up and you click to see the details, then it adds like 15 more seconds to the time that you have to look at it. So just a
Oh,
little tip if you didn't know that.
no, I didn't know that.
Yep, yep. So that it does give you a little bit more time to look at the details when you do that. So maybe try that next time, and it might save you. It might allow you to catch a big order.
Got you.
Um, so what are the things that are most important to you as a gig driver and a business owner?
The most important things to me as a gig driver and a business owner. Number one is staying busy for sure. Um, having work so I can pay people and keep
Mhm,
my business, keep my doors open, take care of my family, things of that nature. And as a gig driver, as a gig driver, just being safe while we out on this road. You never
mhm,
know where you're going. I mean, Nebraska is a lot of rural roads and everything. So, as a gig driver, I pay a lot. I'm big on vehicle maintenance and knowing exactly where we're going. I've been in Nebraska all my life, so I pretty much know this place in and out. But
mhm.
as a gig driver, I'm big on that. And as a business owner, just trying to figure out every day something new and how to expand and take our business to the next level.
Okay, okay. So you said you've tried all other types of gig apps. So how have the orders on Dispatch compared to those other gig apps that you've used?
I'm being honest. Far as earnings go, way better, way better. Like literally, that's number one for sure. Me, I'm still trying to figure it out time to time on a few other gig apps I deal with. There'd be some reasonable jobs, but it's just a lot of perks that Ditch Patch throw in there that these other apps don't. And I mean, that's from like weight bonuses on some of the jobs, extra handling where you may have to use your dolly. I might have to use my dolly, pallet jack, anything to that nature. The bonuses you guys put on there as well. A lot of other apps I've never seen that before. It's straight pay out whatever the job is, and you accept and agree to. And sometimes you may look up and the customer, may put a tip in there. Other than that, most of these other apps, you're getting exactly what the job is listed to pay out. And there's
Mhm,
times where I done jobs for Dispatch and already be expecting what I agreed to, And once I deliver the job, it's a $40, $50 bonus on top of that that popped up on there. So I'm like, yeah, definitely the jobs on dispatch. They're good paying jobs. I don't see any other app that's really sending out the volume and keeping people that busy. And I mean, it's more like with me because I've really got experience with a lot of these other apps. I also look more at Dispatch like some of these apps, man. You may have to do 10 jobs to earn a certain amount, and Dispatch can send you one or two jobs, and if you don't want to do any more work for the day, you don't have to because it all depends on your fleet and what you're operating out of. So, of course, if you're in a compact vehicle, small car, hey, you may have to do more jobs. But when you're in a pickup truck, you got trailers, you got transit vans, box truck, you can make your earnings fast. In 4 or 5 hours, you get up at 6 in the morning, and by noon, you can call it a day and then make some good money. So that's definitely one thing I like about it. I'm out on the road early. I'm up at 6 a.m. here in Nebraska, and by 12:31, I'm pretty much good for the day. And if something come through, and if something come through and it makes sense doing it, and it's not too far out, because I like to beat rush. I like to beat traffic here. So
Mhm.
that's my biggest thing. Because here in Nebraska, around anywhere from about 3:30 to 5, good luck. And when you out maneuvering, got big 16, 18-foot trailers attached to your vehicle trying to get through traffic, it could be
Yeah.
a time. So I like getting up early, hit that interstate, beat that traffic. And I like a lot of interstate work and a lot of jobs for how I'm positioned, and a lot of jobs that Dispatch sends us, and that I do directly myself. A lot of it is interstate access. So I can
Mhm.
get there, get in, get out. And that's one thing I like a lot about it.
Okay, that's good. So when you're looking at the at orders, what are the most impact or most important factors that make an order worth it to you? What are you looking at first?
I always look at the weight. That's number one to me, the weight. Because once I see the weight, I mean, it's not a job that they sent me that I never could. It's not a job ever they sent me I couldn't do. If I couldn't do it, it's because I was already doing 6, 7 jobs already that Dispatch sent me, and I just can't take on anymore. Other than that, I look at the weight.
Okay.
So I like with me, and I believe I didn't work my way up from just numbers and jobs I done done. But I pretty much every job they send me is 500 pounds and up. But I remember starting off with like 99-pound orders and stuff,
Mhm.
0 to 99-pound orders. But now, yeah, everything they send me is always 500, 500 pounds and up.
Okay. Okay. And those are the types of orders you're looking for, the heavier ones?
Yes, yes, I definitely look for the heavier jobs. Due to the equipment I have. It take money to be on the road. So if I'm going to be out here, I want to make it worthwhile.
Yep. Yep. I understand that. So have you been able to join any of our webinars?
No, I haven't, and I get a lot of messages through the app about it, and most of the times when I get them, I'm busy doing something at that time, so it's like I can it's the timing with me, and I'm not sure what time is it where you guys is at. I'm not sure you guys is timing.
Yeah, so I'm based out of Minnesota. Jimmy is in Kansas City, so we're all on Central
Oh,
Time. Um, so I know he just moved the webinars up an hour to 3 p.m. instead of 4. So hopefully that's a better time. But we try to have them when we think most of the drivers are going to be off the road or kind of getting off the road. So
yeah,
that's why they kind of end up being like later in the day. But yeah, we'd love for you to join. Um, we we try to give best practices or different things to provide value to the drivers when you're out there. So I don't think there's a sun run in Omaha, but we do a decent number of webinars around our sun run customer or just if there's like new things that are happening at dispatch that we need to share with the drivers, we'll do a webinar. So
Yeah.
definitely encourage you to try to make one, and there's always a forum for drivers to ask questions. So if you have anything that you've been wanting to ask while you've been out on the road, you can pop in there, raise your hand, and Jimmy will answer whatever question you have. So that's something that the drivers really like about the webinars.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because it's one question I had, and it's funny that you just said that, because it's one question I've been having, and hey, for the first time when you first emailed me about the interview, um, it popped up on my app, and I always been wondering, like, which has never been an issue with me. The payout always been fine, but I wonder, I'm like, I'm surprised Dispatch doesn't offer instant payout, and
Mm.
it just popped up on my app today, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can't wait to use that.
Good. All right, so that's available to you now.
I never emailed or asked about it, but it's like I know a couple other carrier apps where you can get same day payout, and I'm like, it never bothered me because how it's set up, it flows in with all the other streams of income. But
Mm.
I seen it pop up today, and I'm like, that wasn't just on here when I was doing some jobs a couple of days ago. So, yep, I
Mm.
see that they added that feature on there.
Nice. Yeah. So we've been slowly rolling that out over the last couple of weeks. So right now about 50% of drivers have access to it, and sounds like you just got access to it. So I love
Yep.
that. And that's one thing in the webinars that we were able to really get that moving forward from the driver feedback that we were getting. It was like the first few webinars that we did, that was the most requested thing that drivers were asking for. So that really allowed us to push it forward and finally start to get it out now. So
Mm-hmm.
all the drivers should have it by the end of this month, and I'm glad that you got it now.
Yep.
So in your opinion, why should other people drive with dispatch?
In my opinion, I'm being honest, knowing what I know, and I mean, what works for others may not work for you, and I get it. But knowing what I know, um, if I knowing what I know, I would have loved to come through the door from the beginning stages of starting my LLC, knowing about Dispatch, but I didn't, and I just found out about Dispatch last October.
Mhm.
So I mean, phew, if I would have found out about you guys way sooner, yeah, I would have been adapt to it and then out here rolling on the road. So to
Mhm.
come to someone that's coming in, I mean, definitely if you're serious about what you're doing, and whether you have experience or don't have experience, I feel like Dispatch is a great platform for groundbreaking moments. You know, if you know or if you don't know, it's a place you can start and learn, and you're gonna grow. You're gonna learn it as you go because, like I said, it's jobs and dispatching took me places, and I didn't walk in companies and buildings that I never thought me and my company would even deliver to, or I would sit back and question myself, like, man, how can I deliver to such and such these companies and you guys have made it happen by sending those orders to us. So to anybody out there that's watching and seeing this, it's definitely a great place to start and get going. And I mean, it pretty much can it'll take you wherever you allow it to take you. The larger the equipment fleet you have, the beastier and the team is. I mean, who knows? We're still growing. So being a year in, with you guys, I didn't see a whole lot. So I'm sitting here like, hey, I can't wait to see what 2026 holds.
Mhm. Yeah, and we're hoping that it's going to hold a lot of growth and
Yeah.
growth for all you drivers as well. Um, so we're kind of transitioning to calling drivers delivery professionals, and that's kind of repositioned to, we want our customers to know that the drivers on our platform are professionals. A lot of them are business owners like yourself. So what does that term mean to you? What do you think about when, or what comes to mind when you hear the term delivery professional?
I have some. experience, because one of my contracts, I'm considered a DPS.
Mhm.
And that's because I have other drivers that works with me, and they're part of the company and everything. So
Mhm.
when I hear it, from going off the experience that I dealt with it, I mean, when I hear it, it's more of it's putting you in a position to grow your company and take on more work and build your team. That's how I get it. I mean, that's what the DPS that I operate under. That's how me coming in, I was just considered as just an independent carrier, and I'm
Mhm.
independent carrier to a DPS. And with that came along, I brought other drivers with me and other vehicles and expanding. And
Mhm.
that's what I get out of it.
Okay, okay, that's good to know. So if you could give any advice to other drivers at dispatch, what would it be?
Any advice that I can give? Stay motivated.
Hmm.
Stay motivated. I mean, every day you never know. You never know when you get your big break, anything. I'm sure it's a lot of people within the company of dispatch that's seeing these videos, and you just never know what opportunity can come your way. So I would say stay motivated, and if I love what I do. I mean, of course, we all in it, to for finances and to take care of our family and responsibilities. But I have a passion for this. This is what I do. So I'm not just in it for the money. What I like to do. So I wake up motivated to be out here. I want to be out here, whether it's 90 degrees or I'm in the Midwest, so I deal with all different type of weather elements. So it could be
Mhm.
snow on the ground, it could be storming. I'm out. I'm still out here on the road. So that's I mean that's some motivation and some
Mhm.
things that I can give.
Okay, all right. So we're at the end of the questions here. So just to kind of end us off, tell us anything else that you would like to know. Anything about yourself, about your business, plug whatever you would like. Just any final words.
Um, my final words to anyone that's watching this and anyone in dispatch or just anyone around the world, I actually check into our company, O'Neill Freight and Moving, LLC. We have a company website, www.ofmllc.net. You can check us out on Instagram. Our panhandling is O'Neill Freight underscore LLC, and we're also on YouTube, O'Neill Freight and Moving LLC. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you agreeing to have this conversation with me. We did a little bit of back and forth on trying to get the date, but I'm glad that we were able to get it locked down. And thank you for joining. So
Uh,
that'll conclude this episode of Conversations with Drivers. Thank you, Lawrence, for joining us today, and thank you for driving with Dispatch. And we'll see you on the road.
all right, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. You have a good day.
You too.